What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Liberate Your Money, episode 28. It is October 21st. Today we're going to look at the ridiculous Bitcoin price action that we've had today. We have had one of the strongest daily candles that Bitcoin has had in, I think, a couple months now. So I really just want to do this video because this first over $1,000 candle that we've had in a really long time. It's just really awesome to see Bitcoin do this. It's about to break out from a certain area, and I think it's going to retest all-time highs around that 20,000 sometime in the next few months. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's take a look at the chart. Look at this candle. This is the daily chart, meaning every candle represents 1 day's worth of price action. And look at today's candle. It's still climbing. We started the day at about 11,900, and we are at 13,100, and we're climbing, folks. Last time we had a $1,000 candle was July. We had this one that went from 99.40 up to that 11,000. This is the first $1,000 candle since then. Look at that sucker. We call that a green dildo, baby. And this is really significant because look at where we're at relative to this whole price structure. I've got this dotted line drawn up here because it shows us the two levels that we need to worry about next for Bitcoin. Since Bitcoin cleared everything below this, right? Because we were stuck below this whole section right here. Right here. See this order block right here of just shit. When price dropped, we got stuck right below here. And we're finally broke above it. I would not be surprised that if we keep climbing and we retest these highs, I would not be surprised if we fall back to this 12,500 or even maybe a little lower, down to that 12,000, 12,100. But this is so beautiful. I mean, from a chart pattern perspective, you know, if you're like a traditional chartist and you're looking for patterns in this price action, like I'm looking at it and I can see the inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish pattern. We got our head right here, and we've got our shoulder right here, other shoulder right here. Now you could call it this being the breakout in the neckline. Got above it, retested it, boom, we're off to the races. It's just so clean. I mean, we had this white swan event. Like, I look at this price action from 2019 and we had this run up. Like, we went from $3,000 all the way up to basically 14,000, 13,900, and then we corrected all the way to 6,000, and then we had this run up, and it was like, damn, like that was the bottom, and now we're going to revert to the highs, right? And then the coronavirus deal happened, and we just shit the bed. I mean, it was a white swan event. You have to wonder if this would have been the bottom if we wouldn't have had the coronavirus, right? Like, I wonder that so much. I just think it was almost a good thing though, because it washed out a lot of consolidation, right? Like, a lot of people sold that were probably waiting to sell. Like, it just washed a lot of people out, and then like the strong hands and the buyers and your diehards were just eating it up, and now here we are. Like, we're just, this price structure here, boom, we got above it, and then look, we came back down and we tested. It's such clean price action, guys. Look at this. we broke above it, came back down, and then we like retested these highs on this little structure here, and then now we're just bouncing. A lot of people have come out saying this Michael Saylor dude. There's so many high roller Bitcoin advocates right now. It's actually insane. And also another thing, PayPal. Let's go to their page real quick. Today we are announcing the launch of a new service that will enable customers to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency directly from their PayPal account. It's huge. I was digging into it, and it looks like you can't withdraw your crypto onto another wallet yet. So you have to, whatever crypto you buy within PayPal, you have to keep it within the channels of PayPal. And so, you know, I think that's kind of shady, but like this is a good start. Like, you know, a year ago, we would have been saying that like crypto is competing with PayPal. Now PayPal's like offering people to buy and hold crypto within their wallet. Like that's a big leap. And maybe this is the PayPal pump, you know? Like that news came out today. You know, we can blame it on whatever we want, but I just think since that washout we had in March from the coronavirus, I think price is just, I mean, look how strong it's bounced. If we look at the year chart, let's see what we're up on the year. It's got to be over 70%. So this is the yearly chart. So each candle represents a year of price action. Look at the yearly chart. It breaks down the range that the price is in so simply. There's the top of the range. Bottom of the range. We're approaching the top of the range. It's going to be interesting to see how we react to that 13, 14K area. Once we get above that, sky's the limit. Bitcoin's gonna boom. It's the bull run. It's here. This is the year of the halving. We're expecting the bull run to commence. So like, in my opinion, we're gonna get up here. It's probably gonna test as resistance, and we might get shut down a couple times and consolidate down to like 12, 11K. But I think we could blow past this, retest 14K, and then test in the highs. All we got left is the all-time highs at 19.9. And then it's price discovery. Who knows where we'll end up after this next bull run. But this is the journey we've been trying to capture with this channel. It's no mystery that assets are going up, because if we look at the dollar index, which is the strength of the US dollar, it's even more telling on the yearly chart, I guess. But if we zoom in a little bit, we can just see that the dollar value has been tanking. And usually when the dollar tanks like this, it means assets are probably going to increase. And that's really all that's been happening since the dollar. We've been printing so much money this year since March. Like, look at this. March we had like a way strong dollar, and then like the coronavirus hit, and then it's literally just been dropping off a cliff because we've been printing so much money. And what that means is that anything priced in USD is going to go up in value. So, what's the Brazilian currency? Spelled that wrong. The real. What's the ticker for that? BRL. Here we go. This is the Brazilian Real Bitcoin chart. So priced in the Brazilian Real currency, it's at all-time highs. Look at this. So that's why the Bitcoin chart looks very similar to the USD chart, but it's different because the Brazilian Real isn't worth what the US dollar is worth. So that means that the strength of the Brazilian Real is a lot less than the US dollar because look, it's breaking out on an all-time high versus Bitcoin. Which means that the dollar is a little stronger than the Brazilian Real, which means their currency isn't as strong. So that's why the chart looks like it does. So when we see the dollar index going down, you can almost, without even looking at the charts of other assets, you can basically assume that they're going to be going up in USD value. So whenever you see the dollar losing value like that, it's always a good buying indicator for me, you know, that asset prices might increase or probably going to increase. And it just goes to show, like, it's always relative to the currency that it's denominated in, because, you know, there's people all around the world that are buying Bitcoin. You know, look at this, we're reaching all-time highs on the Brazilian Real. Who knows what other currencies are breaking out? But this is real. Like, people have a lot of their wealth stored in the Brazilian Real, for instance, or the US dollar, for instance. And we see our governments printing it away. We want to hold our wealth into assets that are going to hold strength and hold their value. We don't want to hold it in cash that's going to be printed away, inflated away. We got enough shit to deal with. That's why we need to liberate our money with something like Bitcoin, gold 2.0. I mean, this chart is so clean to me. It's just like, we got this clear-cut range, right? We had this bull run, clear-cut range. Here's the bottom, here's the top. We tested the highs. We overextended here a little bit. Tested the highs. Boom, tested the bottom almost. Got front ran. Now we're about to test the highs again. And like I said, once we get above that, we're gonna test that 20K, and then sky's the limit. A lot of people are forecasting like anywhere from 25,000 to 100K at the end of this next cycle. I mean, there's just so much money out there, and there's so few Bitcoins that it's honestly hard to tell how fast, you know, once that demand catches up with supply, like, it happens fast, like today. Like, it could have been this PayPal news, but like eventually it just runs out of sellers. And there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be. Some of them are lost. Most of them people are hoarding. We're gonna secure our wealth. I had to pour whiskey after today. We had that $1,000 candle, and it's still climbing. After I got off work, I was like, I gotta mix a whiskey. This is too insane. Do a whiskey in a video. Beautiful chart. It's clear as day, man. Bull run is here. A halving happened, and price is going to keep on moving. Oh, let's see here. Favorites here. No, that ain't it. Here we go. This is what I wanted to go to. Let's look at it relative to the stock to flow model. See, we're still below the stock to flow average, 365-day average. Still a great time to buy, in my opinion. See what happens when price hits that 14K, and then it's probably going to react maybe to the downside. We'll probably blow past it. So Bitcoin's notorious for doing that too. You know, you think it's a strong resistance, and then it just fucking blows right past it. And we're still climbing, man. We're 13,130. Let's go. If we look at the Ichi Cloud, all metrics are bullish. The blue line crossed over the red line. That's a bull cross. Price is above the cloud. I mean, wow. I guess it is good to note that the bottom of the cloud is around this 8,500. So like if we did top out and we hit, you know, and price wanted to move down in a hurry, we've got major support here from the volume profile at that 9.2. I would imagine 10K is going to be a strong support since we already bounced off of it. You know, all things are bullish. If we do start to correct, obviously the first line of defense is going to be the top of this structure, which is around that 12K, 12.1. I just think all things are bullish. Q4 has always been bullish for Bitcoin. Not always, but in a bull market it always is. We just had the halving, so I've been expecting, been accumulating. Hopefully you guys have been too. Securing your wealth, liberating your money so that you're not just holding US dollars that are inflating away. Trying to be smart here. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Pay attention to Bitcoin.